Today we are going to start off with an update from Celebrity Cruise Lines. We're going to talk about the Alaska season. We've got updates on the Sapphire Princess and the sailing that she is doing right now in the South Pacific. Also, some shore excursion booking information with Princess. We've got some updates on our Antarctica group cruise and lots more. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Monday. It is April 22nd of 2024, and we're going to start right at the top with Celebrity. Several of you who have been cruising recently on Celebrity have been kind enough to send me an update about gratuities. So when you are on board a cruise ship, there are daily gratuities added to your shipboard account. Often you can prepay those if you choose to do so, or like I said, just have them added throughout the voyage. On some cruise lines, they're included in a package if you choose to get a package. Well, on Celebrity, they have gratuities like the other cruise lines, and in addition to this, people are starting to see cards that have been left in their cabin with suggested last day gratuities. So this would be in addition to your, prepaid gratuities, your gratuities that you're already paying that are required by the cruise line. And so I thought it would be interesting. They've got some recommendations for the dining and culinary services. They recommend paying $9.56 per day as a gratuity, and this would be just cash that you hand to these people. Housekeeping services, $5.19 a day. And the retreat services, $4.25 a day. So it's really interesting to me that we're starting to see this, and I'm wondering how come. So if anybody, tell me what you think about this. Just tell me everything you think about this. I think it's really interesting that they have required gratuities and that then they're putting out these extra gratuities. So I have not been on a Celebrity cruise lately, but I would love to hear from any of those of you who have been recently, in addition to those that have sent me this. So thank you. Now, on to the next thing. Right now, the Sapphire Princess is sailing in the South Pacific. Unfortunately, on board, they have had a large number of guests say that they're having gastrointestinal troubles, so probably due to something that they eat. So they have announced that they are cleaning the ship more. Of course, that's what they always do, as well as in the buffet area, guests are having to wait while the crew members serve them. I want to say I love that approach. I wish everywhere had the crew serving buffet items to everyone, and to cut down on the number of germs that are transmitted every time somebody touches the serving utensil. My guess is it's because it requires so many more crew members to do that, and especially when the buffet is really busy. And so I'm guessing that's why the cruise lines don't do it all the time. But I will say on the Sun Princess, everything is served. There are a few things that you can pick up on your own, but for the most part, they are handed to you rather than you serving yourself. So there's an update. I hope that everyone there on the Sapphire Princess who's not feeling well gets better quickly, and that if anyone isn't sick yet, I hope you don't get sick. So thanks for the update on that. I appreciate you sending that to me. You're so kind, those of you who are on a cruise. So anyone who is on a cruise, has been on a cruise, send me an email and let me know how things are going. If you don't want to email, you can just pop it in the comments and I'll catch it there. So thank you very much. Now, I do get questions more often than you would think from people that will get an email from Princess saying that they've got a shore excursion payment due. And we got one of those the other evening. We were looking at shore excursions for one of our upcoming cruises, and we just put it in the cart. We were still thinking about it, so we didn't pay for it. And Princess says that they empty the carts every evening. So if you haven't paid, then it goes out of your cart. And if you want to go on that excursion, you have to go add it to your cart again and pay for it. Well, we had just left ours in the cart because we were thinking about it. And the next day, I got an email saying that we had a shore excursion payment due. The reason that I'm telling you about this is if you get one of these, don't be alarmed. It doesn't mean that you haven't paid for something you were supposed to pay for. It doesn't mean that some of your excursions that you actually have paid for aren't paid for. It just means that if you want to take an excursion that you put in your cart and you haven't paid for, you need to go back and pay for it. I hope that that's a really good clarification for you. So when I went back and looked, the excursion was no longer in our cart, but with the information that Princess sent me, I could easily see the name of the excursion and find it again and put it in our cart and pay for it if I wanted to do that. So just be aware that it doesn't mean that anything that you have paid for is now needing more payment or anything. And I am going to say excursion prices have gone up a lot. They have gone up a lot on Princess, and I've noticed that they have gone up a lot on Celebrity just from when I first started looking at excursions for our cruise this fall. When I was looking in December, some of them are up again already. And so a few things about excursions that I also want to bring up at this time. Number one, when you book your cruise, then you can book the excursions if they're available. Now, for the Antarctica cruise, it's so far out that we don't have excursions available yet. But a lot of times, the cruise that you're going to go on, the excursions are already available. So if you see what you want, book it, because they will sell out. And in some parts of the world, it is much easier to pick up a tour with Viator or a local tour guide right when you get off the ship. You have so many more options when it comes to that. But there are some parts of the world that there's not an option for that. I know that when we went to Iceland last July, people weren't standing there offering tours like they have been, like if you go to Alaska or if you go to some other places. Another thing to note is like when we looked at Viator, because a lot of the excursions are expensive, they don't have a bunch of people offering those Viator tours in a lot of the ports. And so make sure that when you are booking a cruise, especially if it's a bucket list cruise and there are things that you want to be sure to see, that you book the excursions as soon as you can, because once they're sold out, sometimes there's a wait list available, but then you have to count on someone canceling in order for you to be able to get on it. So just want to put that out there. Don't forget to do that, especially on things that you really want to get to do. The next note that I've got here for you is this note is regarding a cruise that's coming not until April of 2025, but it's a 32-day South Pacific cruise and to Hawaii and Tahiti, and they have already received an itinerary update, and that is that they are not going to be calling in the port of Lahaina, Hawaii. They instead are going to go to Kona, Hawaii on a different day. So I just thought I would bring you all up to date on that, let you know. So Lahaina there is over on Maui, and it'll be interesting to see how these cruises, as we roll forward more and more into the future, when the cruises are able to call back in Maui again, as they were able to do before they had that fire. But just wanted to put that out there in case you have one of those cruises booked, you'll know what to expect. Also, one of our Let's Go Travel family members, they posted this on our Facebook group, and I kept forgetting to tell all of you about it. So I'm telling you today so that you don't forget to be very diligent in keeping an eye on your credit card statement. This day and age, we can see our credit card charges before a statement would even come in the mail or before the statement would close. They got 2 fraudulent charges from a place called Princess Cruises, and they have had to dispute those with their credit card company in order to get them taken off. They double checked everything, made sure they had not bought anything that would be charged to their card. So I want you to keep your eye out. And it's a lot of companies I know are having trouble with people charging things in their name, and they're fraudulent. They just change things a little bit and then things show up. So make sure, keep an eye on your credit card statement. Just putting that out there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, will you please go ahead and hit that subscribe button? We'd really love to have you with us and look forward to seeing you every day. Also, if you appreciate my updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? It really helps us out, so thank you. Let's talk about Alaska for just a minute. I am really excited about the Alaska season. There is so much anticipation in the air for me when the Alaska season starts. I get so excited to hear what the first cruisers are saying who get to go on those cruises, and then it's just, to me, such an exciting time all the way through the summertime. So a couple of updates for you. First of all, here's some helpful information if you are going to go on a cruise tour. First of all, make sure that you know that if you have an Alaska cruise tour booked, that you book excursions for your cruise tour section, like the tour segment of your cruise tour. You book those excursions just like you do when you're booking a cruise. So go into your cruise personalizer and find the excursions that are available for your cruise tour. So they'll have some available at the different lodges. They've got a large variety of things to do, everything from fishing to hiking to, going on airplane rides, all sorts of things to choose from. So make sure that you don't miss out on that. And that comes under the heading of do it as soon as you can, because you don't want to arrive at the lodge and just think you'll book it when you get there and they're all sold out. Okay, so make sure that you do that. Be aware, for the last few years, the going into Denali National Park, the road that goes in is 92 miles long, but they had back in 2021, it was kind of during COVID, they had a landslide there, and it was right by what they call Polychrome Pass. But that landslide there that covered the road has required a whole new bridge to be built. They are not expecting that bridge to be ready to use by buses for cruise tours until the 2027 season. So we've still got a ways to go until that bridge is completed. So just wanted to let you know, you get to go to mile 42, and you get to see a lot of wildlife on that. And be aware that when you are going to Alaska on a cruise tour, that there are segments of the tours that go to Denali that are included in most of the cruise tours. So look and see what's included in yours. But then there are also extended ones that you will get to see more. So like I said, make sure that you look at all of the options for your cruise tour so that when you get there, you have the whole experience that you're expecting to have. It's expensive to go on cruise tours, and make sure that you can enjoy it to the fullest. Another quick note for those of you that have a cruise tour booked, be aware, and I know a lot of people don't know this, but if you book like the Plus or the Premier package for the cruise segment of your tour, when you are on land there, the food and beverages are not included. And for some of the cruise tours, they will have the meal packages that you can buy in advance, and they will include 3 breakfasts and 1 dinner, or, it just varies by cruise tour what's included and the price. 2 notes on that. Number 1, you're going to look at the price and think, oh my goodness, that's an awful lot for that. But food is extra expensive there. I think we're all used to food prices going up an awful lot no matter where we live, but food has gone up even more in Alaska, and it was very expensive to start with. So be aware of that. But if you're not going to really eat everything that is included in a package, I wouldn't necessarily say that you have to feel like you have to hurry up and do that. Just be aware that you're going to have to pay individually for your food and your beverages when you're on the cruise, when you're on the tour portion, okay? Another quick note for you about all of this. When you go up to Alaska on a cruise tour, they've got a Denali Visitor Center, and you might want to mark down that is open every day from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. So you can go there, and when you're there in Denali, there are other little places that are easy to access there. There's I don't know if I would say shops, but there's a few eating places and a few little places there that you can visit. But make sure that you have everything planned that you want to do so that you can enjoy it. Another quick note for you if you're going to go to Alaska, and I'm just telling you these things today because I think it's important that you have this in your mind as we're getting so close to Alaska. When you get to the ports on your cruise, like when you think of the main cruise ports that there are, when we were in Sitka, even though Princess doesn't go to Sitka very often, Holland America does though, and when you're in Sitka, when you're in Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway, all of the big places where you would go, there will be people waiting when you disembark to offer you a tour. So usually those tours are less expensive, but at the same time, you can't always find reviews and read them in advance for who's standing in front of you. But it is really nice to know that when you disembark, if you don't want to pay how much the cruise line is asking for something, you can often find it when you disembark. I'm not going to say you can find everything that you maybe would want to do offered right when you disembark there, but it's a really good way to pick up an excursion, especially if you don't know what you want to do and you just kind of want to let, go spur of the moment, be a little bit, not so planned there. You can pick up an excursion that way. So keep that in mind. If you're in Juneau and you're looking at how much those excursions are to go out to the Mendenhall Glacier, you can pick one up when you get off the ship there and just take the bus and go out to the glacier and stay as long as you want, catch a bus back because they just go back and forth and come back into town. So there's a lot of options to do, especially if you want to do it on a budget or you're not quite sure what you want to do. Want to make sure that you knew about that. Now, a quick note here. I get a lot of questions. I'm getting so many emails still about the Antarctica cruise, so I thought I would quickly clarify what I said the other day really quickly. And add to it a little bit. I'm getting a lot of emails asking what it means to be in a group. Does it cost extra? So nope, it doesn't cost you any extra. You pay the same cruise fare that Princess offers, Or if you're booking at a time that my group rate is cheaper that Princess gave, then you get to have the less expensive rate. Alrighty, so that's the same. I don't charge a fee to book, and so you get the same price, so you don't pay any more. You get a little bit of extra onboard credit from the group, and then finally you get to have all the fun of coming with our group. And I would put our groups up against anyone, and y'all come out on top every time. So we have a dinner time that you can dine with us if you'd like. Not if you don't as often or as infrequent as you would like to. We have get-togethers. We'll have time to play games, to visit, whatever. We sometimes go to the show together after dinner, whoever wants to, or go to the piazza to visit or dance or whatever. There are just so many things going on board the ship that we can do things together as much. People never have to feel like they have to go to something alone, because there is always somebody in the group going to the different things. And so it really enriches your experience when you're on board the ship. And when you go to Antarctica, I would submit that you have people to share the excitement with. And just the whole voyage, it's going to be epic is my word for it. So I just wanted to let you know that that's how that works. It doesn't cost you any extra. Oh, a quick note. Right now, those Antarctica cruises are only open to book for people who have actually sailed on Princess so far. So even if you have a Captain Circle number, even if you have a Princess cruise that you have booked and paid in full and are going to be going on, like some people on our British Isles cruise, and you haven't sailed with Princess before, you cannot book. That is supposed to open up on Thursday, so I am really excited. I'm going to be on the job for that. But if you are looking at the Princess website and you're even logged in as yourself, if you have not sailed with Princess before, it is sounding like people still cannot see the pricing for that. So if you want to know what the price is, you can send me an email and I'm happy to reply. It's just letsgotraveltips@gmail.com. And so wanted to make you aware so you don't think anything is broken. And on Thursday, we should be able to book you. So thank you very much for joining me today. I really look forward to hearing from you in the comments about everything from what's going on with Celebrity and those suggested additional tips, just to everything else going on. I look forward to reading your comments. I appreciate you being here with me. I'll see you all here again tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Goodbye.